So today we're going to be continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. We are now on episode 41 of this series, and take a quick gander at this map and tell me what you see. Is that a completed province map by AdizzPro? Did I actually take the time to finish all the provinces? Yes, I finally did it. The province map is completed. Every single country in the world now has provinces, all the way from North America to South America over to Oceania. This thing is filled in and it's great. If you didn't see the live stream where I did it, what are you doing? It was super fun, but that was more than likely the last What If Civilization stream that I'll ever do again, so if you missed it, then that kind of sucks. But anyway, for this episode, we have a lot of things to talk about. In the previous episode, we saw a lot of things happen. We saw the Cold War, of course, heighten with more nuclear bombs being built. We saw the Japanese Civil War. We saw the partitioning in Central Africa, and a bunch of other stuff. So if you haven't seen the last episode, make sure to go check that out. By the way, I'm home from college now, only temporarily though. I'm leaving on Sunday. I'm recording this on Thursday. Actually, I'm technically recording this on Friday. And I gotta do like 3 pre-recorded videos after this. Yay, but I'm close to being done with college for winter break, so bear with me for the next like 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, if you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. All the support is greatly appreciated. And let's go ahead and get started with today's scenario. Oh, also we added major military bases. This is a work in progress. As you can see, obviously the whole map is not filled in, so don't expect this to be too much of a factor for the videos for a little bit, but it's a work in progress. So we're actually going to be starting over here in North America because we have a new economical union being formed. And this economical union will consist of a few states, including this pink country here, the orange one here, the gold one here, the green one here, which unfortunately will have the color a different color of green. No big deal though. The purple country here, and I think you guys can get where this is going. All right, so North America just economically unionized. Pretty cool. Every single one of these countries over here, which were mostly from the red team, the red Irish team, have unionized together. These guys are all peaceful with each other. There's no really big any like border disputes or any kind of beef like that. So the economical union is thus possible. There are some other countries that are interested in joining, but for now, this is all we got. Said countries include the Central Canadian, the Alaskan, and the Pacific Northwestern country. But like I said, they're not going to be joining anytime soon. But anyway, we're actually going to go ahead and stay on this layer because we're going over to the Old Empire, and here they will be forming their own economical alliance, kind of as a counter to what the West African Union is doing over here in the African continent. Also, this is the Atlantic country, my bad, or the Western African country, sorry. But the Old Empire wants to form their own economical alliance. And would you believe me if I said that I'm running out of shapes? Welcome to the Right Triangle Alliance. Yeah, that's great. So the countries that will be joining the Old Empire's new alliance are going to be, of course, their allies. So Norway joins it, as well as Iberia. The white country joins it, as well as the purple country, which they're not an official ally of the Old Empire, like they're not in the alliance, but they do work closely with them and have a favorable view on them. And then we have this African nation joining. Remember, they joined the square team in the previous episode, but now this is where things get a little bit dicey. They'll be getting this green country to join, as well as this gray country. For now, that's going to be it. However, their economical alliance does have a lot of interest around the world and serves as a good countermeasure for what the West African country is trying to do over here in West Africa. The African Union, or the Mediterranean country, is like in the process of joining this economical alliance, but not there just yet. I don't want to throw too many countries in all at once. Staying on the topic of economical alliances, and I promise this is the last one, the West African countries alliance will be getting one more member, and that is actually going to be the Dark Cyan team, who, as we know, is a former Triangle team member, former colonial power, former top 10 power, but is now aligned with the West African country, who is unaligned with the Old Empire, and these two kind of got beef. So now these guys are once again beefing with the Old Empire. This time though, there is kind of a safe haven, that is Russia. So if they want to be aligned with Russia, they could be. This also kind of heightens tensions between them and Iberia, but more on that later. Okay, goodbye alliance layer. Next, we'll be going down over here to Libya, and they're going to be doing something pretty smart. So you guys can probably see like the issue here, right? Like their capital city is like right there. So the smart thing to do in this scenario is to just simply move it to another city. The red team moves their capital further away from the encirclement that the Old Empire is imposing on them, which, if war were to ever break out, gives them a little bit more time before they meet certain doom. Okay, but you guys want wars, right? So now we jump back over to the purple team. These guys have been active as of recently. They have fought with the Old Empire before. They've done a lot of expanding. They split Italy with the Old Empire, and they're not really looking to slow down anytime soon. So they will go ahead and set their sights on their next target, which is going to be be the cyan team right here. This is actually like more like teal blue. But they will send an official declaration of war over to these guys, and unfortunately for these guys, they're a little outmatched. You see, the purple team is using equipment from the old empire. The old empire is directly supplying the purple team, and at this point it's like, just go ahead and join the alliance officially. Like, what are we doing? But they will be doing no such thing and will instead send their troops into the capital province of the teal team. Additionally, their navy will set out and capture Corsica, and up north they will start an offensive to encircle the capital city, and this goes extremely well as they meet little to no resistance. Eventually, they will cut in closer towards the capital city and take it. Simple enough. And from here, it's pretty much just purple team heyday. Like, they're going crazy. They're not meeting much resistance. You know, they have a few issues up here in the mountainous regions of this area, but really there's not many people living there. So eventually the teal team will go ahead and just surrender over to the purple team, and we can go ahead and take a look at this peace treaty. Oh, you would have never guessed, huh? The purple team fully annexes the teal country, and all of a sudden the purple team is becoming quite big. Remember, use your noggins and go all the way back to the first couple of episodes of this series, right? The purple team was like kind of native to this area, and they're slowly starting to take it back. Now, of course, they're not going to be able to take all of it back because the old empire is kind of blocking them from the Italian peninsula and parts of Greece. So yeah, it's not possible, but you know, there's some points over here where, you know, go crazy maybe. But now moving down to southern Africa, we have a quick little event happening here, and it is, yes, another war, this time between South Africa and this green country over here. Simply, the South African country just states that it needs more land, needs more resources, and the green team is their best bet. Nothing too crazy about that, you know, that's just kind of how war happens sometimes. So they send their troops into this very weak country. Now remember, the South African, well, actually, you don't remember because I didn't tell you in the video, but in the live stream, I kind of went over how the South African country is actually quite strong, and that's mostly due to the fact that they have been here for so long and they have capitalized on the pre-Suez Canal trade routes that go around Africa. So many trade outposts along southern Africa that really boosted their economies in the old times. And since then, they have flourished in the modern world, being a top trade destination for foreign powers. So with all of that money and hence population and now troops, they are very capable of taking out pretty much half of Africa if they wanted to. You know, they would get a little bit of trouble with Tanzania over here. But other than that, like, they would have a field day. They won't be doing that though. And in this peace treaty, of course, full annexation. Goodbye, capital city. And South Africa grows a bit stronger. Now, I do want to kind of shift their color a little bit, just so it's like, okay, not like that. Just so it looks like, I don't know, like more presentable in thumbnails. Because the blue colors, I do like them, but they're sometimes kind of hard to see. So I think I'll shift them to like this kind of tealish blue color, like light teal. Anyway, time for our daily nuclear bomb update. 28 rookie numbers. How about 39 and 10? The old empire now has an arsenal of 39 total nuclear bombs, 10 of which are not on their own soil, which means they added 5 more elsewhere. We'll take a look at where those are at. There are now 2 in this cream country, 2 more in Iberia, and 1 more in Norway, most likely in retaliation to Russia's invasion of Sweden. So the old empire and his allies just kind of buffed up the nuclear scene a little bit more, but of course, if one side does something, the other side also does something. So let's see how Russia buffed up their arsenal. Russia has officially surpassed the old empire in number of nuclear bombs. These guys are fiends for nukes. They are rapidly researching, whereas, you know, the old empire is still rapidly researching, but these guys are doing it on crack. They are going crazy with their nuclear research, and they have now officially surpassed the old empire, and this is sounding a lot of alarms in this country, along with, you know, all around the world, because most people saw the old empire as like the country, like the strongest in the world, like I guess the equivalent of the United States in modern day, and Russia as its own equivalent, or I guess the Soviet Union. And we all know that the United States was at certain points a lot stronger than the Soviet Union, but this is like if the Soviet Union all of a sudden became stronger than the USA. This is unexpected, and I'm not saying that they are stronger in like terms of military, but having more nukes is a little alarming, even though the Soviets had more nukes in real life. Still alarming, but also notably, they added 6 more nuclear bombs to their allies, so let's see where those are all at. That's 2 more in West Africa, that's 3 in the dark green team, and 1 in this little teal country right here. Alright, so the old empire is probably freaking out. And you know, I mean, it's not completely like wrong for them to be doing so. Like, you know, they're surrounded by nuclear bombs all of a sudden, but they also surrounded Russia with nuclear bombs, so this is totally like it's allowed, but they're still going to freak out about it just a little bit. So yeah, nuclear bombs all over Eurasia, none in North and South America, none in Asia, or East Asia, I should say, none in Oceania. There are a few in Africa, but you know, that's just kind of probably not in Africa. It's more like probably on the coastal areas, which technically is still Africa, but not really. They wouldn't be used on Africa. They would be used on you. And I would imagine there's probably a pretty strong push by Iberia to get on equal grounds with West Africa. They're probably like, hey, more nukes, please. Okay, I don't know. They got 4 more than us, and 4 more can do a lot of damage. So, you know, come on, let's pump out more nukes. Norway's chilling. You know, they're not really dealing with anybody. The Brown team stopped their nuclear program for a little bit. They're focusing on building up for something. Not going to say what. But as for China, we can go ahead and take a look at them. And you know, their program is still developing. They've added 4 more, so they're still nowhere near as, you know, close to the capabilities of Russia and the old empire, but they are slowly starting to build up, and eventually they will get to that rapid acceleration phase, and they will take off much like these two are. So in this Cold War, you know, it's between Russia, China, and the old empire, but right now it's mostly kind of focused on Russia and the old empire. That's because China is kind of lagging behind, but they are quickly approaching, you know, they're catching up. Anyway, South Africa. That is not South Africa, South America. We have yet another war taking place. Now remember, the Civilization series has been relatively peaceful. I mean, no, it hasn't been, but war-wise and war count, it's been relatively peaceful. You know, there's been a few threats of the world exploding to a billion pieces with nuclear obliteration, but aside from that, conventional warfare has been on the downfall until this episode, because all of a sudden there's a lot of wars happening all over the world. Turns out when superpowers are too busy fighting each other, you can get away with a lot more. So we come over here to the dark blue country, aka Brazil, for this series. Not actually Brazil, but I'm just going to call it Brazil since it's in the land that, you know, where Brazil is in real life. They, well, they're not like too bad off, but let's take a look at the provinces. I preached this a lot in like the stream, the Civilization stream that I did on Wednesday. Size of provinces is a good reflection of the population density of the country. So if we were to get rid of the background, for example, I know this might hurt your eyes, I'm sorry, this will help, but as you can see, this is freaking cool, first of all. Second of all, my face is completely white from this, and my hair is, oh my, what is, but like I was saying, this is a good reflection of population density in the world. So Europe is very populated due to the small provinces that it has. The old empire is extremely populated. You can see how small the provinces are around the capital. We see that India is quite populated. China and Korea China and Korea are pretty populated. Parts of Africa are pretty populated. Over here, for example, over here near Nigeria, along the coastal areas for sure. This is random. I don't know if that's actually that populated. No, probably not. I just made a really small, okay, that's fine. So maybe not in all scenarios. South America, we can see that like the coastal areas of Brazil, they are quite populated, but the continent as a whole doesn't have too many people. And then North America is the weird one. They have population over here on the eastern coast, over here near like where California is in real life. I guess this would be like Los Angeles. Mexico looks populated, but then you turn on like the background map and you see that it's mostly due to the fact that there are a lot of terrorists here. Weird sentence. So if you're ever curious of like what the population density of the world is, here you go. This is like so cool to me. I don't know why, but I drew every single one of these lines, which is crazy. But you know, I'm happy that I did. It was worth it. Anyway, Brazil wants more population. That's why I showed you that. And there isn't much population around them. You know, you have this like teal country up here. They have a coastal area, but they might be hard to fight. Green country is not worth it. Pink country, not worth it. They could go down into this guy, but they might be strong or too strong. The orange country, they just got out of the war with the red team, so probably not best to mess with that right now, but you know, they might be on the chopping block. You have the lime team, which you barely even border. So that leaves you with this guy. Let's invade them. And invade them they do. The Brazilian country will send their troops straight into the teal country in a surprise invasion. No declaration of war. They will immediately split towards these major cities. And this country is screwed. Yeah, so the theme of this episode is jumping countries that are way, way, way weaker than you are. Why not? You know, no one's going to stop you. So they immediately spearhead down to the capital city. This teal country is in despair, and they eventually will be forced to surrender. Now, the red team was thinking about getting involved, and so was the orange team, but you know, since the blue team appears to be wanting to expand rapidly, it's best that you don't get put on the chopping block. Specifically, the red team doesn't want that. You know, the orange team, they might already be there. So, that, you know, it's better just not to escalate things further than they need to be. Or I should say, speed up your inevitable death. Anyway, peace treaty. Guess what? If you said full annexation, you're wrong. Just kidding, you're right. Get rid of that capital. You don't exist anymore. And now, the Brazilian country is a little bit bigger. They have a little bit more population. Good news. Oh no, bad news, sorry. The religion of the country you just invaded is very different from the one that you have. Your religion stems from the red team / the old empires area in Mesopotamia. Their religion stems from Western Europe, where the brown team was. So yeah, well actually no, this is technically from Ireland, but Ireland got it from the brown team. So this is like the Western European religion. It kind of sets itself in North America, a little bit of South America, kind of like splodged all around the world, thanks to colonialism. The red religion here is kind of like, I guess, Islam in this world. I guess you could say the brown religion is like Hinduism or Buddhism, or I guess the orange one would be Buddhism. And then you have your different Central Asian religions, you know. It's cool. I think this map is cool. I wish I would have paid more attention to it earlier on in the series. If we ever do a season 2 of this, expect it to be way more detailed and way more better. I promise. It will only get better from here. Anyway, on that subject of next series, if there ever is one, next video, because that's the end of this one. I don't know if it was short or not. You know, I recorded this for 32 minutes, but the fact that I have to do 3 more recordings after this one means that it's probably time to shorten the videos just a little bit for my own sake, because I am recording this at 2 a.m. on Friday. I'm leaving on Sunday. It gives me the rest of Friday and Saturday to record those 3 more videos. So yeah, time crunch, kind of want to get this done. So if this video and the next couple ones are a little bit shorter, I do apologize for that. But just for your information, this is the last non-pre-recorded video before we go back to pre-recorded videos for a little bit. So yes, this is actually me on Friday. You're seeing this on Saturday, so this was me yesterday. I'm actually home. But as for Wednesday's video on December the 4th and Saturday's video on December the 7th and Wednesday's next video on December the 11th, which is my last day of classes, those will all be pre-recorded. At least I'm hoping. I don't plan on bringing like my mic and all my setup stuff back down to college because I'm so close to the winter semester. So I'll most likely be leaving my microphone here. I'll be leaving like my main keyboard here, probably my speakers, all that stuff, even my camera probably, just so I don't have to spend so much time setting this all back up when I come back home on December 11th. So yeah, basically after this, 3 more pre-recorded videos, and everything after that through December and January will not be pre-recorded. And basically we're going back to normal for like a month. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to start streaming again, both on this channel and my live streaming channel. I'm excited to get away for college for a little bit. You know, it's not, I guess right now, it's not super stressful, but it's college. It's going to be stressful. And I have a lot to talk about with like next semester, but I think I'll cover that in a video of its own in January. So that's enough for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. And of course, thank you to all the superfans. This includes Serminator, Xalens, Georgie Badev, Deathlord 182, ABXI, Pablo Sigma Cat, Death Strider X, Hammertoad 45, CTG on YT, Poland Country Ball, Nevada Garbage Trucks, and DW Cool Dude. Once again, thank you guys.